You know what sucks? Spend about an hour or two trying to, script everything that you want to say in a video, and then you just delete the entire thing. Like, you press that little X, don't save, and then you're like, huh, maybe I should have saved that. Yeah, well, I didn't save that. So today's video is going to be very minimally edited. I'm just going to do this off the cuff. Maybe make it into more of a conversation piece than like, here's what's going on kind of thing. First article today comes from Tom's Hardware. Nvidia allegedly kills off 4 Turing graphics cards in anticipation of Ampere. Well, yeah, we've all kind of known that Ampere was coming this year, more than likely. Killing off Turing now, probably a reasonable thing to do so that they can free up resources to start mass producing the Ampere cards. Another little tidbit of information in here is that board partners, the guys that make the aftermarket graphics cards like MSI and Gigabyte and EVGA, some of them are saying that Nvidia has suggested that maybe they raised the price of their current cards this month, claiming that TSMC, the silicon manufacturer behind pretty much every major hardware brand out there right now, are having supply issues, and they always have supply issues because they provide silicon for Intel, AMD, Nvidia, probably Hynix, I'm not really sure, Samsung. I don't really know who all they provide silicon for, but it's a lot of companies with a lot of high demand. So they're always in high demand. I don't know what Nvidia is really trying to do here. And probably drive up prices for the end of life sale that's probably about to happen. Here's some clickbait that I will definitely take advantage of. Why the Trump administration may ban TikTok. Now, it's a little bit deceiving their popular mechanics because this has very little to do with the Trump administration. Anyway, all it is that the government is looking into TikTok because of allegations that it is a pretty much direct funnel for American intelligence to the Chinese government, which, yeah, it could be. It could be. Might not be, but it could be. The moral of the story is you just got to pay attention to the permissions that you're allowing apps to have access to on your phone. Granted, most people don't have anything to hide anyway. I mean, it's like, what are they going to do with my information? Like, is the Chinese government going to take my bank account? Ain't going to get far with that, buddy. The Steam summer sale just happened. Yeah, I ain't got a lot left. Anyway, one thing to take into consideration here is that India has cracked down big time on Chinese app companies and outright banned TikTok and 50 other apps in their country. Now, India has a lot of people, and they have a lot of people that probably contribute to TikTok's bottom line. I can't remember the name of their holding company. That's a substantial amount of people that are no longer able to access the service outside of, like, using VPN. NordVPN, please sponsor my videos. I'm a shill, I'll say anything, I don't care. Red Shadow Legends #1. The moral of the story is just to pay attention to what apps are accessing on your phone. If you're interested in some good news from Ubisoft amid their allegations, Watch Dogs looks pretty cool. Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks pretty cool. Watch Dogs Legion has hacker grannies. That sounds fun. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has the chick version of Ragnar Lothbrok. That also sounds fun. Tech Radar wants us to believe that you can build a gaming PC to keep up with our new 4K HDR SSD 60 faps a second Netflix and fuck box stations. Well, you can't unless you want to spend $1,300, because I totally took this challenge. I found all the hardware that they listed and, picked comparable hardware at, sorted low to high, and I came out with a $1,300 system on PC Part Picker using the equivalent parts that they laid out in their article. Also equivalent parts to what's probably going to be in these consoles, more or less. I can make a whole video on this, and I have on another channel, but more information's come out, and I may touch on it again. But essentially, the consoles are going to be AMD processors with 8 cores and no hyperthreading, to the best of my memory. Proprietary motherboard, of course. They're actually, now this is something kind of interesting. The new consoles are going to be running off of GDDR6 memory. This is substantially faster memory than DDR4, but it's shared between the system and the graphics. So if these things have 16 gigs of GDDR6 memory, probably 4 to 6 of that's going to the console, and then like 8 or 10 is going to the graphics. So it is a shared memory system, but sharing 16 gigs of GDDR6 is probably going to be pretty sweet. We don't have an analog for that on PC just yet. Anyway, I got a Crucial P1 1TB NVMe SSD for $105. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 2080 Super 8 gig video card, that is going to probably cost at least $100-$200 more than what these consoles are going to cost. I am assuming these consoles are going to be about $500 to $600, and the cheapest 2080 Super you can get is $699. This isn't the cheapest case, but I do like the Cooler Masterbox E300L. I think it's a pretty cool old school looking case. I kind of want one. I could have gotten a cheaper 450 watt power supply, but since they used a 650 watt in their article, I went with a cheaper 650 watt, and I still got $1,300. Honestly, with this kind of price differential, I can't really blame anybody for just buying a console and enjoying their games. And I'm not going to hate on anybody for doing that. I am a PC guy. I have been for a very long time. I can't hate on you for that. And if you're an Xbox bro, I can play with you still anyway. PS5, we might be getting some more cross-platform stuff, and if we do, that's great. I can't wait to play with you guys too. But you guys have Spider-Man, and I will never forgive you for that. Somebody paid $114,000 for a rare copy of Super Mario Brothers for the original NES. This thing is sealed in its packaging. One of the things that makes it rare is the box has a cardboard hang tab underneath the plastic. And this indicates that it was produced after Nintendo started using shrink wrap to seal the games rather than stickers. The game was sold by Heritage Auctions in Dallas, Texas. A couple of other games it sold were Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for $50,000 and a sealed copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 for $38,000. Now this kind of upsets me because about 5 or 6 years ago I went to a yard sale and I bought a box with a NES console, 2 controllers, 2 zapper guns, and a handful of games still in their original boxes. They were not sealed, but I had Kirby, I had Mario 2, and Mario 3 in their boxes, and I sold each of these games for like $80. So, I mean, my copy probably wasn't worth $38,000, but it did have the box, the manuals, the little cartridge holding cardboard thing inside the box. So I'm inclined to believe that maybe if I held on to that a little bit longer, I might have could have gotten like, a few tens of dollars more. Grand Theft Auto 6 new feature possibly leaked for Rockstar's GTA 6. Now I read through this article, so you really don't have to. Comic book is kind of deceiving. What basically happened is that Rockstar contracted a Australian company called Video Games Deluxe to do some open world VR things. But big asterisk here, realistically those AAA VR things probably had more to do with a VR version of Red Dead Redemption 2, an insanely popular and successful game that they have out right now. And knowing Rockstar's more recent history of absolutely milking their franchises to death, I could definitely see this being a thing happening. Or maybe even Grand Theft Auto 5 VR. I don't know if that's a thing yet, and if it's not, I'm actually surprised it isn't. When it comes down to it, Red Dead Redemption 2, in the grand scheme of things, the way video game distribution works now, that game is still pretty fresh. Grand Theft Auto 5 is well over, 14 years old now? Something like 10? No, it's not that old. It's like 6 years old. I'm still thinking of World of Warcraft. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 is easily like 5 or 6 years old, and they're milking that game to death. Like, their online game as a service feature is making them a ton of money. They don't have to make Grand Theft Auto 6 anytime soon. It's the same reason we're not going to get an Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon, is because Elder Scrolls Online is still a thing that exists and is doing just fine on its own. So we're probably not going to get these games until interest in them dies to such a level that they have to do something extreme to get us interested again. Because they know we're going to buy these games. Of course we are. When GTA 6 comes out, of course we're all going to buy GTA 6. Red Dead Redemption 3 comes out, we're all going to buy that. I still play World of Warcraft, and that game is a dumpster fire. Well, I mean, what can you do? Just stop playing Grand Theft Auto Online? Who's going to do that? Like, you would have to be really, really, really bored of that game to not do that. They're constantly adding new stuff to it. Effectively, you could continue playing it forever if they continue updating it. So, I mean, what is their motivation to make GTA 6 right now anyway? It's not there. What's the motivation to make Elder Scrolls 6 right now? Nothing. It's not there. Nerf coming to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone. This update nerfs one specific gun, the Rytec AMR, with the explosive bullets from this semi-automatic sniper rifle. It doesn't really do a whole lot. It just corrects the amount of experience points awarded for using exploding rounds, adjusts the fully loaded perk when equipping alternate ammo, and tweaks the gun's ability to one-hit kill in Battle Royale. Not really a big deal, maybe more of a balancing thing. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. You don't have to like and subscribe, but it would be a whole lot cooler if you did.